there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, shall give me at that day, and not to me only, but unto all of them also that love his appearing. Do thy diligence to come shortly unto me. 2 Timothy 4, verse 8 to 9. Father Henry P. Thiessen was born to his parents Abram and Elizabeth J. Thiessen in Giroux, Manitoba, Canada. He passed away on May 14, 2011 in the Lumalus Hospital, Kyle District, Belize. Father received his 7 years of education in Ridgewood Public School, Manitoba, Canada. Commuting to and from school at the time was done with horse and sled. One experience he liked to tell was about one winter when riding from school, the sled turned upside down and all the students were trapped underneath the box of the sled. Pete, the oldest brother, grabbed to rescue the children who were down in the ice slush. Our father has also helped on a mink farm which his parents were operating for a few years. Minks were sold for their fur and made into jackets, etc. As a boy of age 15, he was also responsible to milk 9 cows both summer and winter. In the year 1948, at the age of 18, he received the Lord Jesus and was baptized by Bishop Peter P. Reimer. In that same year, his parents moved to Mexico. His parents traveled by train with the younger children, while the oldest 2 sons, Pete and Henry, drove with the pickup truck from Manitoba to El Paso. In Mexico, our father learned the trade of plastering brick houses with mud. He did this as a job for others. On December 10, 1950, our father married Susanna K. Reimer. 4 children were granted to them in this union. In May of 1958, they moved to British Honduras, now Belize. Since houses were few in the beginning, a number of families had to share a house. Our parents lived in an 18 by 24 foot house with 18 to 20 people for the first weeks. In October of 1961, during Hurricane Hattie, our father, together with his wife and 4 children, aged 5 to 9, stood ready at the door to exit should the house fall. During a big bushfire, our father, together with other men, stayed in the area with a number of houses where the fire would pass overnight. The women and children were taken to safety before nightfall. On May 15, 1970, Father's first wife, Susanna, died from a heart attack. She left behind her husband with 4 children, ages 13 to 18. A little note, an interesting fact is that Father died 41 years last one day after her on May 14, 2011. On January 16, 1972, our father remarried to Mrs. Anna Bandman. Together, they now had 14 children, 6 girls and 8 boys. The day he got married, he also became a grandpa to Anna's first grandchild. On September 23, 1973, they had 1 more son together. Dad had a number of church responsibilities, which included 23 years as graveyard overseer, including making the grave posts with names carved on them. 6 to 10 years as school trustee, Schulversteier. The first church and school benches in this settlement were made by him. Our father was one who wouldn't strive for position, but always served faithfully in hidden ways, frequently visiting widows along with our mother. He taught his children to be ones who would lend a helping hand. Our father had a number of health issues. In 1980s, he was hospitalized due to kidney stone. During severe pain, he would sing to the Lord. He also had a lot of back pain due to a birth defect. This hampered his ability for hard labor often. He suffered issues with his heart for several years prior to having his first heart attack. He had his second heart attack 6 years ago, after which he was taken to Guatemala to hopefully do a procedure to open his heart blood vessels. The doctors there were unable to do this due to his poor condition, but they suggested for him to have an open heart surgery. Our father did not want to have that surgery and stated that he felt that he had accomplished his mission on this earth. According to his wishes, he was brought home and we expected him to pass away any time. However, he improved with natural and medical remedies considerably and was able to function fairly independently for 6 more years. Approximately 3 years ago, his right eye became fully blind due to glaucoma. Then almost 1 year ago in July, his left eye became blind as well for 12 days until he had surgery in Maryville. During the surgery, the doctor put silicone in his eye, which was to be removed a year later. He now will not need to go through that procedure. But since then, his vision was very poor. He was one who enjoyed reading word puzzles, newspapers, cutting quilt blocks with grandma ever since he was unable to do outside labor. In the last 2 weeks, it became evident that his breathing became harder and harder. He needed more and more hours of oxygen throughout the day. The last 3 days, he needed 24 hours a day oxygen. In hopes to find some relief to his suffering, he was taken to the Maluz hospital. The doctor did an x-ray and he was found to have a lot of fluid in his lungs. The doctor gave him a strong dose of medication and said if he would not respond to the medication within 6 hours, then he would not recover. He did not respond and continued to deteriorate and be short of breath. He passed away Saturday morning at 7 a.m. His death certificate states his cause of death to be respiratory failure, pulmonary edema, and congestive heart failure. Preceding him in death are his first wife, Susanna, son-in-law, Daniel Duick, grandson, Jacob Benman's wife, Mary Benman, and 3 young grandchildren. Our father, grandfather, and great-grandfather will be greatly missed, yet we are grateful from our heart that he can now rest from all his sufferings. He leaves behind to mourn his wife and our mother Anna, 15 children together with their partners, 82 grandchildren, and 88 great-grandchildren. The family.